And welcome to the Field Report Brief on what is happening with the Benghazi hearing today as we are continuing to listen to more testimony. We're going to start with the FEST, which is an internal security unit that works within the State Department, that they would relocate anywhere in the world in case of a terrorist attack. That's their specific job. So that would be standard protocol, that they would be the first to be called into Benghazi. This email exchange was from Mr. Thompson to Kathleen Austin Ferguson. Recalling that email, this was a question by specifically Representative Jason Chavis, I believe. I hope I'm correct. I'm sorry, Trey Gowdy. Okay, so anyway, this was a question directed because of the bipartisan arguments, to be specific, to find out when this email exchange was occurring at 9:58 p.m. on 9/11/12, that Mr. Thompson did acknowledge, and he does recall that email, that the FEST was not to respond. Now, this is the standard protocol for the FEST, again, is that security unit internal specific job is to relocate at any given moment once they get the order to do that. Remember, if you know anything about orders, they have to be given from the top down. Okay, so you're talking about the chain of command. So anytime an order is authorized, it has to be authorized by someone from top down. So that order is necessary. Without having an order, no one can react and respond. Some of the discussions about what happened over at the annex when they got the announcement, or they were waiting for the order to go. Because remember, again, this order thing, who gives the order is imperative to find out why there was no security backup support for what was happening in Benghazi. So if you're hearing the email exchanges, there was a lot of internal emails and phone calls in those hours while Benghazi was under fire and ambushed. So the stand-down order was very important to understand who gives that order. It has to be from the top down, okay? Because nobody can respond or react without that order. Apparently, that's, if you know anything about this is the protocol and this is the standard procedure. So that is some of the things that we're finding out, that who acknowledged that. That would be Mr. Thompson, who is discussing that email. And the FEST, again, was not to react and respond, which is not standard protocol, because that's their job, to react and respond. So the sources in the discussions regarding around the emails, the phone call exchange within those hours is very critical. Names, dates, and all that, the time period. Also will clear up any confusion that I may have. So if there's any comments that anyone makes, I apologize. I'm just going based on what I know. There's a lot of fragmented information, but we're piecing it together to understand who was exchanging emails to who, State Department to the people on the ground. It would be really interesting what specifically those orders were and why those orders, why it wouldn't have moved a little faster. Because, once you get the order, people can get to their locations, secure the perimeter, etc. And that's what we're trying to figure out, what was slowing that down. Because, again, response time is critical. This is what these guys do, especially security units. Their response time, they know that they have to be somewhere. Their response time is efficient. They've done this plenty of times. So the order is what sounds like had kind of slowed things down. And that's very important to remember. Again, the FEST, the email exchange, and the stand-down orders, and the orders to efficiently, effectively move quickly. Because, again, this is what these trained security units know what to do. They are trained high-level security ops, special operations guys. They've done this a long, long time. They have to master efficiency. So if anything slows down their work to be efficient, it could be very frustrating, and that's what we understand about what happened at the airport once they had secured the area, the perimeter. they were trying to get the Tripoli team to Benghazi, and then they weren't authorized to do so. So look, the thing that slowed down this was a lot of the authorization and orders. Again, I don't want to get into discussing where Representative Clay or any bipartisan arguments amongst each other, because really we just need to know where was the lack of efficiency here. Because if you know anything about military special ops, they have to master special op times because of the nature of the type of terrorism that was occurring, the ambush itself. To argue whether it was this video or that, most of the time when military study this, high-level security diplomats know an ambush from an ambush. Why there was so much confusion, and why Secretary, the State Department, or anyone representing the State Department would argue on whether it would be video conferencing or videos or interviews for that much. Why no one would know that information, whether it's fuzzy information, when military are trained to see this, to know the protocol, the standard, what to look for. To call a terrorist act is almost unheard of. It sounds like a lot of fuzzy information, but if you would listen to the military guys on the ground, they would know exactly what's going on. So I think we have to refer to that, the orders and etc. We're going to get back to more on the Benghazi hearings. Again, follow up with some more information about the stand-down orders, the security ops on the ground, and what was going on in the exchanges. It'll all help to better clarify why things have to be so fuzzy, because it's clear to a lot of us, if you've known how standard operations and protocols operate, why those orders slow things down. That would be interesting, and hopefully we'll pick up back more with that here at the Field Report. Thanks for listening. We'll be back after this for more at the Field Report Brief and Debrief. Thanks. God bless.